Roy Jones Jr. brings up the $1 million question. Talks about Devin Haney. Can he get a fair shake in Australia? That's what I want to talk about in this video. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Showing a lot of heart and a lot of character, being willing to go to Australia and get it, said Roy Jones Jr. That shows you how bad he wants it. And I like that, said Roy Jones Jr. Now, just from this opening sentence, this sounds identical. Ego Stradamus strikes again to what I've said on my channel. But I'm going to keep going with Roy Jones quotes and hold that thought. Going to Australia, you got to figure out how to stop the pressure. You got to wear him down and stop him with a body shot. If you don't stop him, it is going to be hard to get a decision, says Roy Jones Jr., referring obviously to Australia. So Roy Jones is stating the obvious. I brought up this same concept. Can Devin Haney get a fair shake out in Australia? And that's the $1 million question that everybody, I believe, wants to know. No one doubts Devin Haney's skills, his skill set, his ability, his willingness. And you hear Roy Jones, he's echoing everything I've said on the channel. Devin Haney is owed a lot of praise in the world of boxing because he left promoter Eddie Hearn. He left his situation with DAZN. He took short money because, keep in mind, and I know this for a fact, Devin Haney's been eating for a while and getting paid great money, for the it's not like, the biggest name, like he got a Ryan Garcia or Gervonta Davis. So he's been getting $1 million plus paychecks on Logan Paul, KSI undercards and, fights like that because he showed so much promise and everybody wanted to sign him. So that's the way his deal is structured. He gets great money because he's sought after. So the big question is, in Australia, will it be enough? Can he get a fair shake if he goes to Australia? They clearly are trying to, in my opinion, extend this for George Kambosos. Like, you got to keep in mind, a place like Australia, they're not really known in the boxing world for having a bunch of concurrent champions. I mean, just look at the names that have come from Australia in boxing in recent memory. Jeff Horn, Anthony Mundine, and, Costa Tszyu a long time ago. And he's really from Russia originally. And then now you have Costa Tszyu's son, Tim Tszyu, things like that. But it hasn't been that many breakout stars or huge big names from really New Zealand or Australia. Like, you got Joseph Parker in New Zealand and, David Tua or something. And that's just been in the last 25 years or so. So Jeff Horn, first time he fought someone elite like Terrence Crawford, he lost. He lost on U.S. soil. I was at that fight. I thought he lost to Pacquiao too, but they robbed Pacquiao. And that's kind of the fight that comes to mind for a lot of people when they hear about this Devin Haney situation. They're like, oh no, not this again. Because everybody knows that Pacquiao, it looked like he won the fight. Even Teddy Atlas, who was on ESPN at that given moment, he had this whole long rant about how boxing and corruption, and Pacquiao himself, after the Jeff Horn loss, he said he felt set up. He said they played him, and that was his last fight with Top Rank. So Devin Haney is in uncharted territory, which is scary, and it's even scarier than the possibility of being in another country without your dad, without your head trainer, and in no man's land in that regard, with things being set up against you. Like, I think it's deliberate as hell that they did not make any kind of exceptions, provide any kind of clemency for Bill Haney to at least be there with his son. But through it all, Devin Haney seems to have his head on straight, keeping his head on a swivel. He got the people that he got out there looking after him, and he has an insane belief and next level confidence for real, because how many fighters would have the star power of Devin Haney and be making the money they're making, have the cars and jewelry that Devin Haney has, and then take these big risks. And Devin Haney continues to do it. So, Devin Haney has to be one of the most respected people in his age group or just in general in boxing, because at the end of the day, people kept fronting him off and saying, hey, you need to fight someone top 10. He did that. He fought Jorge Linares, former champion, who sat Lomachenko down and beat Luke Campbell and sat him down. And Devin Haney didn't get sat down, but old media made up a big deal about Linares landing one shot throughout the fight and clipping Devin Haney. And Devin Haney's legs staggered a bit, right? Then he fought Joseph Jojo Diaz. Ryan Garcia was playing and said he was injured and he was unable to fight at the end of the year. So Devin Haney's promoter and Devin Haney's team reached out and said, hey, we'll match the money you were going to get with Ryan Garcia. Devin Haney has a WBC belt, the full belt. Ryan Garcia had like a fake interim belt. So it really makes no sense with us matching the amount of money you were already going to get. It makes zero sense for you to duck us. And the world will know it's a duck if you don't fight us. And Joseph Jojo Diaz, in my opinion, he was cornered. Golden Boy was cornered because you couldn't sensibly make that make sense and express and explain to the public why he didn't fight Devin Haney if he didn't fight Devin Haney. So he was trapped. And it's the same thing with George Kambosos. I truly feel George Kambosos, we know Devin Haney was not his first option. That wasn't the guy he had in mind. That was not the first person they were trying to get Lomachenko. This is common knowledge. Bob Arum, who orchestrated even the Kambosos-Haney fight, told us that. He said that Lomachenko was on deck and everything, the paperwork had already went through. The only reason that it didn't happen is because of the political climate of Lomachenko's homeland, Ukraine, being invaded still currently, right, still going on by Russia. That's literally the only reason that Lomachenko is not fighting Kambosos next. So Kambosos keeps saying like this cap and saying these different things. That's why Devin Haney says you're an actor, because Kambosos is saying, hey, I picked you, boy. And he's saying all these like little code words and I picked you, you were a chosen kid and this type of stuff. But that's not true. Lomachenko was chosen. Lomachenko was who you had on the table. Like, that's like you deciding to go to McDonald's and then you drive up to the McDonald's and they're closed and you're like, oh, okay, they're closed. And then you ask the people in the car, hey, where you want to go eat now, since McDonald's, this particular McDonald's, and it's the only one in town, is closed. Then people say, okay, let's go to Wendy's. Let's go to Burger King. Let's go to Jack in the Box. You didn't want to go to Jack in the Box. You didn't want to go to Wendy's. You didn't want to go to Burger King. The only reason you're going is in lieu of the first place you went to being closed. That's exactly what happened in the Devin Haney fight. It was widely reported he wanted to fight Ryan Garcia, and there was a deal that was struck with Lomachenko. Ryan, he wanted a tune-up. Golden Boy wanted a tune-up for obvious reasons. Ryan had been out for a while, and I think they're trying to protect him anyway. And they don't want to put it. They seen him get dropped by Luke Campbell. They don't want to put him in with the guy that just beat Teofimo in Teofimo's backyard, right? Especially without a tune-up. So Ryan was no longer on the table, especially coming off a surgery, hand injury. And then neither was Lomachenko for the reason I stated earlier, leaving Devin Haney. And it's ironic because everyone was lying in boxing except for me, stating that Kambosos and Teofimo Lopez and before that Lomachenko were undisputed. Now they have no choice but to jump on board with what I've been telling you, that this fight this weekend establishes the true undisputed. They have no choice but to mention that. So all that other stuff, it's just like when they lied and said Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua was done for Saudi Arabia and bye-bye Wilder and all that. Knowing damn well Fury hadn't, in Top Rank, hadn't cleared the Wilder obstacle. They just lied. This is what old media continues to do. Get it wrong and lie to you and say this is law. And then you come to find out it's not even accurate. Right? They said, oh, Kambosos, Lomachenko, Teo, all these guys are undisputed, but now they're billing this fight as undisputed. So how is it undisputed if you were saying how is Kambosos undisputed before this by beating Teofimo? This is what old media said. But then now they're saying if he beats Devin Haney, he's undisputed for real. Wait. I thought you said he was already undisputed. So what are you, double undisputed? There's no such thing. They know that they were selling you guys a lie. Kambosos, Loma, Teo, they weren't undisputed, even despite what the WBC said, for obvious reasons. WBC, why would we believe them? They're the ones that made this mess. So who cares what Mauricio Suleiman is saying as far as saying, oh yeah, Kambosos is the guy. He's undisputed. He's the one that made the mess that can't answer the public as to why it's so confusing and gets frustrated when he has to explain it. Oh, you just don't understand and you want to disagree with me, but it's common sense. You created a program that you can't justify intelligently. It was not needed and there's already too many belts, and you continued to convolute the game of boxing by adding more into the equation, and that wasn't needed. Like, if the hospital beds are already full because of monkeypox and COVID, and then you're sitting up here tampering with other diseases in the vials and opening them up, and then now you got a whole nother different virus, different outbreak, different problem than you had before. That's the equivalent. Well, you already had monkeypox and the Rona, and then you're playing around with the diseases in the vials, and then one breaks open, and then now you have to worry about scurvy or SARS or whatever you released, and that's what the WBC did. In the end, Roy Jones is making a very valid point that everyone wants to know. Will Devin Haney get a fair shake? Let me know if you think it's a setup. Will it get a fair shake? Drop all that in the comment section. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off. Introducing Super Thanks. Right here on the official Boxing Ego YouTube. Super Thanks allows you, the viewers, to show a little bit of extra gratitude, which enables me as a full-time content creator to push out the content you need in the world of boxing. Underneath all the videos, you will see a heart with the $sign in it. You can enter any amount that you find suitable as a super thanks. A brand new, interactive, and colorful way to get your comments highlighted and noticed by not only myself, but other people on the YouTube platform. Super thanks, a unique and cool way to show and applaud us full-time content creators. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content. Super thanks. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We working.